Are you for or against circumcision? How come? You phrased the question wrong. Should be, foreskin or against it? Got cut when I was 19 due to an incident that ripped my frenulum. I was sexually active before and after. Before getting snipped, sex felt better and masturbation was miles better than after the snip. GF at the time also didn't even know I had a hood until the incident occurred. Who would have thought? After getting cut, head was way better and the sex was marginally less satisfying. I also struggled with my stamina for about a year after. Honestly kind of wish I never got cut. But it is what it is. It's not like I'm necessarily against it. But personally wouldn't cut my own child unless he wanted it done electively at a later age. 17 to 23-ish. Also the healing stage of my own circumcision was terrible and deserves its own blurb. But that can be told a different day. TLDR I'm pro-skin. Edit. For clarity. I was pulling the skin out of the way before getting head. I did not have any phimosis or other conditions that may hinder that. I would like to know how cutting part of the genital off for aesthetician purposes without the person's consent isn't genital mutilation. If you want it later in life, go for it. Cutting something off a baby is super fucked up. Unless a medical emergency or consented to by the adult whose penis it is on. A firm no. You don't just cut into infants' genitals. Shit is insane. It is literally mutilation. I've had the unfortunate honor of having witnessed observed a circumcision. It was fairly horrific. Poor kid was strapped, spread eagle, to this plastic board. A stainless steel clamp was tightened down onto his penis. And a scalpel was used to slice away the foreskin. The whole time the poor kid was absolutely shrieking. Maybe it was just from discomfort. But it certainly seemed like it was from pain. Even with a grown-ass woman holding this infant's arms out of the way. He was fighting so hard he managed to pull away from her several times and kept reaching towards the doctor doing the cutting. The nurse just kept giggling and telling him, "No, you can't help." It didn't look like he was trying to help to me. It looked like he was trying to wildly claw away the thing slicing into his genitals. 0/10 cannot recommend. I believe in body autonomy. You do you, but don't make that decision for others. Well, I had to go through non-surgical foreskin restoration because I had such severe sexual dysfunction from too much being cut off. So I'm strongly against it and pretty much by default suspicious of anyone who's strongly for it. I'm strongly against it and believe it is genital mutilation. My partner had a botched circumcision and they have little feeling in their penis. If someone chooses to get circumcised or it's medically necessary, that's fine. But otherwise it is completely unethical. I'm against interfering with a child's body for cosmetic purposes. I'm also against piercing a child's ears, but I think circumcision is much worse because it's a much more invasive procedure. I also think that because circumcision is so invasive and specifically performed on genitals, it's a really bizarre suggestion that it exists at all, and it seems to be the sort of thing that only exists at all due to religious superstition. Coming from a country that doesn't practice circumcision, and everybody is fine, I am unable to see it as anything other than mutilation. Against had it done to me when I was 40 due to almost having phimosis. Basically it was tight and sometimes chafed, got a small tear and that eventually scarred and made things worse and worse. The healing process was horrible. Took me around 6 months not to feel uncomfortable when the bell end touched clothing. Tried all kinds of underwear and solutions. To put it in other words, I was aware of the tip of my penis the whole time, which gets old after a very short period. I really miss the skin I lost. A lot of feeling disappeared from any kind of sexual activity. Especially the inside portion of the skin was sensory superorgan, and of course the remaining bits got desensitized to add insult to the injury. Please. If the foreskin is not malfunctioning, do not do the disservice of removing it from someone you are supposed to love. I'm against circumcision for the same reason I'm against giving babies tattoos. It's not acceptable to carry out non-medically necessary body modifications on people who can't consent. Against both in male and female. I know it's called different, but NVM. You should let them do whatever they want when they become adults. Strongly against unless required for medical reasons. Or the person is over 18 and able to consent to it for cosmetic reasons. Performing an unnecessary medical procedure, usually on babies who are unable to consent, is nothing more than legalized mutilation. And it's honestly fucking shocking how accepted this shit is. I'm all about bodily autonomy. So, against it in babies barring medical necessity.